Hey guys, it's Bethany with ABQ Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to Tunisian crochet. This is a common tool that you'll see used for Tunisian crochet. It's an extra long hook that helps hold all of your stitches as you work across. It's kind of a cross between traditional crochet and knitting, except instead of using 2 needles, you use 1 extra long hook, and you don't keep all the stitches on your hook at all times. You will go by one and remove the stitches off your hook. For today, I'm just going to use a regular size hook as I'm just creating a smaller swatch. To get started, we're going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to do 12 chains. With Tunisian crochet, you're going to have as many stitches as you chained. So instead of losing a stitch by working into your second chain from the hook, you're going to have the same number of stitches as you chained on, because this loop that's currently on your hook will count as your first stitch. So we're going to skip over this first bump, and working in our back bumps only, we're going to start into the second chain from our hook. We're going to insert our hook into the bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now instead of closing off this stitch, we're going to keep the loop on our hook. As we do our forward pass, you keep all of the loops on your hook. We're going to insert our hook into the third bump, pull up a loop, and we're going to continue on all the way down the project, working in the back bump only. And we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop. Once you get to the end, you should have 12 loops on your hook, or however many you started with for chains. Now we're going to start working back. You're not going to turn your work, you're going to continue to look at the right side. To work our way back, we want to yarn over and go through 1 loop. That's our chain 1. Then we want to continue by yarning over, pulling through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and continue on until the end of your row. You should have something that looks like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work back again, adding our loops onto our hook. Instead of working into this first chain, because we already have it on our hook, we're going to work in our vertical bars of this work only. So you see this first bar here, you can see the front of the stitch and you can see the back of the stitch. We're going to work into the front bar. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, we see this vertical bar coming out at us towards the front of our work, so we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and continue on working in all the bars across your work. Once you get to your last stitch, we're going to turn our work to find the stitches we're going to work into. When you turn your work towards you, you will see this little V, or where the yarn crosses. We want to work underneath those 2 loops. So here, let me see if I can get that yarn out of the way. So when you turn your work to the side, you'll see that it crosses over, and you want to work under those 2 loops. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up that loop. Now we want to yarn over, pull through 1, because we're going to do that chain 1 here, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and so we're slowly taking all of these loops off our hook. You're going to continue all the way across by yarning over and pulling through 2 at a time until 1 loop remains on your hook. So you can see where it kind of looks like a cross between crochet and knitting. So again, we're going to work our way back just the same as the last round. So we're going to insert our hook into this vertical bar, and then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Continue this row the same as before. We're going to go all the way across, and I'll show you that last stitch again and how we complete that. So here at the end of the row, we're going to turn our work towards us, and again you can see that V. So we're going to work underneath that, inserting our hook and drawing up a loop. We're going to chain 1 and start working back by yarning over and pulling through 2 loops at a time until we have 1 loop remaining on our hook. I'm going to go ahead and work up a little bit of a swatch. You're going to continue each row the same as before, and then I'll show you how we do our bind off. Now that I have my swatch worked up, I'll show you how to do the bind off. This is fairly simple if you're familiar with the traditional crochet. It's like doing slip stitches all the way across. So again, we're going to insert a hook into the bar, and then we're going to pull through both the loops on our hook. So again, we're going to go into the next bar, and we're going to pull up a loop and pull it through both loops on our hook. And we're going to continue all the way across doing these slip stitches, and it'll just create a nice finished look to the project. Once you complete the row, you can just cut off your yarn and weave in your ends. And that's how you do Tunisian crochet. Now you might notice that your ends start to roll up. It's because we're always working into that front loop, so it's wanting to pull our work forward. What you can do to counter this is use a large hook size and smaller yarn size, and that'll help it to lay a little more flat. Otherwise, you can also try blocking your work once you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If it's something that you've thought about trying, I highly recommend it. It's just a nice little step up from crocheting to give you that different look where you have a nice thicker woven fabric. If you're like me, knitting can be very intimidating, and I was always scared of losing my stitches off my needles. So I thought this was kind of a great in-between option that's a little different than crochet, and it gives you this different look, but it's not as terrifying where you feel like you're going to lose all of your stitches. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me down below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all of my current projects. Thanks guys, have a wonderful day.